Welcome back to my channel. I have a massive book haul, as you can see next to me here. I have thrifted most of these books, but I've also acquired a few in some unusual places as well. So today I just want to go over the books that are new to me. I will probably break this video up into two parts because, as you can see, it's a massive stack and I'm probably going to need a little break when I'm editing. So let's just say this is a two-part video. So make sure you watch part 2 after watching this part 1 if you want to see all of the books in this stack here. So we're going to dive right in with the first book on my massive tower. And that is When in Rome by Sarah Adams. I have seen this all over Bookstagram, all over BookTube, in the bookstore, and so on. So when I found it when I was at the thrift store, I picked it up. I didn't know much about it, but after reading the back, it seems like it's definitely a cute little read, something I'm going to be wanting to pick up probably this summer, or maybe if a reading slump hits me out of nowhere, this would probably get me out of the reading slump. It seems as though we have our main girl, Amelia, who is a celebrity of sorts, and she's kind of just needing a break from that lifestyle, and she finds herself in a small town where she meets Noah Walker, and from what I gather, Noah runs a bakery, and there we have this probably meet cute where Noah and Amelia most likely fall in love, but I'm sure there's baking and other cute small town things along the way. So right up my alley, love it. Hopefully it's a book I can speed through, being that I need a couple of those in my TBR. That is When in Rome by Sarah Adams. This one was from the thrift store. Most of them are from the thrift store, which, check out your thrift stores, honestly. There are a lot of great books there. The next one I have is in the Harry Potter series from the Harry Potter world. We have The Tales of Beedle the Bard by J.K. Rowling. When I was a school librarian, this was one of the books I would recommend to the kids if they completed the Harry Potter series. I haven't read it, but it's a book that I've been wanting to read. Again, it's in the Harry Potter world, so if you like anything Harry Potter, Hogwarts related, this is probably up your alley. So again, I don't know too much about it, being that I have not read it yet. But from what I gather, this is a book that wizards and muggles read when they're interested in the fairy tale world. So it seems as though it says, now thanks to Hermione Granger's new translation from the ancient ruins. That's adorable. So I guess these are fairy tales that have been translated by Hermione, which honestly is precious, and I kind of want to pick this up immediately because I want to know about these fairy tales from the wizarding world. That is The Tales of Beedle the Bard by J.K. Rowling, also from the thrift store. The next book we have, a book that has been on my TBR for a few years now. I think I tried to get it from my library a few years back, and then it just never came through for me. So when I found it at, yes, the thrift store, I instantly picked it up because why continue to wait for a library book that never comes in? It is Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I've read a few books by Christina Lauren, and they're mostly fun. I loved Holidays, I think it was called, and I've read a few others. Of course, now I'm drawing a blank on the titles. The Unhoneymooners, that was a cute one, and a few others. So I like Christina Lauren's writing, so I would imagine that I'm going to like this book as well. I absolutely love that cover. It's precious, and I feel like it would be a really cute tote bag design. It's giving me tote bag, honestly, but very pretty cover. It seems a little thick, but it's got good flop, so that's a positive. It seems as though this book takes place during the then and now as we follow Elliot and Macy and their relationship through the years when they were younger and in love, and I guess they had a falling out, and years later they reconnect. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm gathering from the synopsis on the back of this book. It seems as though it takes place mostly during the summer outside of San Francisco, so maybe a good book to read this summer as well, but honestly, my summer TBR is already lengthy and I'm very behind, so we'll see actually what books in this stack make it onto the summer TBR. I am excited for this, and I always love a rom-com and love to have one on my TBR ready when I am in the mood to pick one up. So that is Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. Also, yes, I am correct. I had a feeling. When I thrifted this book, this wasn't the selling point, but it did help a little bit. Look at this adorable bookmark that was in the book. It's magnetic and it's a sloth. So there's that. I will be using this adorable bookmark when the time comes. Next up, we have Judy Blume. Now, I love Judy Blume. I read so many of her books when I was a kid. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. So good. I know it's a children's middle grade type novel, but if you haven't read it recently, read it because it's hilarious. So great for when you're in 5th grade, but also fun to read as an adult because it's just super nostalgic and has a lot of great humor. I love Judy Blume. I've never heard of this Judy Blume starring Sally J. Freedman as herself, but from the cover and the title, I'm sensing a little sense of humor here, so hopefully it's funny. From the back, I am gathering that Sally moves to Miami Beach. It takes place in the winter of 1947. I'm sure it's still super warm and sunny, being that it's Miami, so hopefully she has some summer-like adventures. And it seems as though she's just trying to adjust to her new life in Miami. It says, but none of this stops Sally from having the most amazing adventures. One minute she's a famous movie star or a brilliant detective. The next she's found the Latin lover of her dreams. Sally's life is a movie played inside her head, and Miami Beach is her best setting yet. So cute. It makes me feel like it could be more of like a young adult instead of a middle grade. It says on the back that it's ages 8 to 12, but I'll only be able to determine if I think it's more middle grade or a young adult after reading it. So we have starring Sally J. Freedman as herself by Judy Blume, also from the thrift store. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I have been listening to the Anne of Green Gables series, and I am on the hunt because I want to own physical copies of all the books in this series, and here we have a physical copy of Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. This is the first book in the series, and yes, it's a cute edition, but it's not the beautiful edition that I was hoping for. So happy to have this in my collection now, but don't be surprised if I bring another one in because I am looking for honestly just a more beautiful edition. But again, happy to have Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery, and yes, from the thrift store. Most of these are from the thrift store, various thrift stores. Next up, we have The Land of Stories. The Enchantress returns by Chris Colfer. This is book 2 in the series, The Land of Stories. This series is fantastic. I highly, highly recommend for you if you love fantasy or if you have high elementary, middle grade children in your life, pick these books up. They are a thrill, they are an adventure. They are so creative. Chris Colfer reimagines and retells classic fairy tales, Mother Goose rhymes, and stories that we all know and love in the Land of Stories. So we have our 2 main characters, Connor and Alex. Connor and Alex, and they find themselves in the land of stories. The portal to the land of stories is a fairy tale book, and there they discover more about themselves, their origin, their family history, and about these fairy tale characters that they grew up reading. These people, these characters, have lives of their own that are still taking place, occurring, and relevant to this day, and Alex and Connor get to experience life with them, as well as go on adventures, solve mysteries, and do some rescue missions, and so on. This is book 2, and from what I remember, because I have read this series before, this one is about the evil queen. I believe the evil queen. Let's see, the evil enchantress who cursed Sleeping Beauty is back with a vengeance. Can Alex and Connor Bailey save the fairy tale world from the greatest threat it's ever faced? So this one centers around saving the fairy tale world, and perhaps the real world, yes, from the evil queen or the evil enchantress. Highly recommend this series. I will be doing a reread of this whole series once I get my hands on a copy of each of the books. So far I have books 1 and 2, but I'm thinking I want the whole series before I begin my reread. So stay tuned if you want to hear more about this series and my reread of it. The next book I have is another Judy Blume book called Blubber. Love that cover also. This was such a surprise. I found this at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. It is brand new, in perfect condition, and I couldn't not buy it. I didn't realize that I wanted to own all the Judy Blume books until I saw them at the thrift store and the dollar store. So I guess I'm starting a Judy Blume section on my shelf. So here we have Blubber, and here we have a story about Linda, and this book doesn't seem as happy-go-lucky and humorous as Judy Blume's other books. It seems as though there's some bullying taking place in this one. Again, judging off the back of the book and reading the synopsis, I'm not getting a lot here. It seems as though there's a note being passed around in class, and it ends up in the hallway and throughout the school, and stuff is being said about Wendy. So not really sure what this is about, but I do have high hopes for it because Judy Blume is incredible. So I guess I'm not going to be getting a lot of jokes and humor out of this one, but still excited to read. And to follow that up, another Judy Blume book, also from the dollar store. So I got both of these that day, and again, how could I not? They also, from what I remember, they also had a copy of Deanie, and maybe Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret, which I already have copies of those, but I was tempted to buy those as well because I would have loved to have them all matching, but I had to practice some self-control. So I left that day with only these two, but yes, I have been thinking about it. So we have Then Again, Maybe I Won't by Judy Blume. I'm loving the sass of that title. This has to be a middle grade. Yeah, ages 10 to 14. Definitely perfect for middle grade, that title. Okay, so reading the back of this one, I'm also getting a more serious vibe. So again, not the sense of humor that I'm expecting from Judy Blume, but you know what? Judy Blume, she's not necessarily known for writing funny stories. She's known for writing coming-of-age stories and books that help children through their adolescence and growing and all those changes and crazy things that occur when you're in elementary, middle, and high school. So I guess from my memory of Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret, I do remember it being funny, but there are some hard-hitting topics and conversations in that book. So maybe these will deliver the same tone. I'm definitely more intrigued than I initially was, but it seems as though this book, Then Again, Maybe I Won't, centers around the character Tony, and he's probably just growing up. He's dealing with school, money problems, his parents and some friends. So just life in general, probably as a 13-year-old, I'm imagining. Again, don't know much based off the synopsis, but that's what I'm gathering. So that is Then Again, Maybe I Won't by Judy Blume. I think that's where I'm going to cut this video now. This is the part 1 of the massive book haul. As you can see, I'm about even here. So in part 2, I'll go over this stack here. So if you're interested in knowing what else I thrifted, yes, the rest of these are thrifted, only these 2 were from the dollar store. Make sure you are on the lookout so you can watch the second part to this video. Let me know, have you read any of these books? I've got a lot of great ones here. So if you read any of these, or if you're interested in reading any of these, let me know in the comments. Also, tell me, what books have you recently acquired? As you can tell, I love thrifting used books. So if there's a used book you recently purchased, let me know. I want to hear it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.